got inspired again to start reading. What I started thinking as I was looking at this is like, the thing I haven't heard this whole project series this whole time? This is good. I haven't yet heard a confirmation that this is actually good at all yet because I've barely talked to anybody about it. Like I've not I had one meeting with my advisor, brief, to see if he would be interested, like my first advisor, and he was. Obviously he didn't like see everything about it yet, but I mean he gave me like certain feedback. I didn't expect him to say it's good. I'm not expecting that from anybody, but I'm just like I'm so far into it. I'm like I was just looking at it and I was like, is this good? I think it's accurate. I had another meeting with a neuroscience person in my life before that when I just had like ChatGPT little stuff and it wasn't as complex as this yet. But she does other type of neuroscience as me, and she told me like, like it seems good. It's not like her specialty, and that she gave me good advice. Like this is the things, people give me good advice. They're like, she was like, make sure about the rap papers because they're a bit old. And she was the one who said like write all this into a proposal. And then I was like, I learned I could submit it for empirical projects. So people have given me good advice, but I only talked to them briefly. I think in all of like hundreds, like I'm talking hundreds of hours that I've poured into this project, I've actually interacted with other people about it, probably like total of 3 hours. I showed one person who was like not even a neuroscience at all, and they were just like shocked that I was doing this, but they didn't have like the systems neuroscience knowledge to be like, oh, this is good. And then second person wasn't like systems neuroscientist either, gave me some advice, but she also didn't have the expertise to look at it and be like, this is good. And then my supervisor, we haven't gotten to discuss it extensively, right? So there's only three people. This whole project run, those are the three people I spoke to about it. We spoke briefly, like an hour. I put hundreds of hours into this. So you get to a point where you're like, I'm probably on my like maybe like 400 plus hours of something of working on this, and I have not heard one this is good yet. Is it good? What is it? Is it like I have no way, I don't even have the expertise to contextualize it and be like, hey, yeah, like this is really doing something. Like I don't know. I'm doing it because it's important to me, but like I have zero sense of whether this is actually like, yeah, it's accurate. Is it good? I don't know yet. I don't think anyone can say until it's like more solidified. And I've just been working on this, and like I'm gonna have another meeting with my supervisor. I don't think he's gonna be like, this is good. Like nobody says that ever. That's the thing, is you can never expect it from people. But it's like I just want to know if it's good. It's like I've put hours, like hundreds of hours into this project and have not heard one. That is like the queen, like I have become the queen of internal validation through this whole thing. Not one this is good to be uttered in hundreds of hours of work. You know, not one like this looks promising, this is great, like keep going, like nothing. Nothing. Just pure me being like, this is gonna happen. Not one this is good. And sometimes I look at it and I'm like, I'm worried because I haven't gotten that. But while no one has said this is good, two people have agreed to supervise me, so it can't be trash. You get me? So it's somewhere between this is great and this is trash, and this is like no. It's like this is not trash baseline, and then this is great is like the range of possibilities for this project. This is acceptable, and then this is like, you know what I mean? It's like it's somewhere in the middle, and it's kind of hard to say because don't know. But that being said, I'm going to show you what I'm reading about with the amygdala. All it needs to do, it needs to be good enough to solve my question, like good enough to solve the problem is what I'm hoping for. That's it. But I'm reading neuromodulatory systems and memory storage, role of the amygdala. It's before I get into it, it's hard because through a majority of this project, it's like enjoyable, but I've also been very stressed the whole time because at first I was like, is this the right path for me? Like, do I have any kind of potential in neuroscience, or am I just completely deluded, right? And then I started to read and I was like, my thing is checking out. So if anything, I'm like, okay, like this is not like, it's not a horrible idea and there's no issue because I'm just doing it by myself. So it doesn't like, there's no stake, right? Then there was the stress of like, okay, I'm putting a lot of work into this and this is kind of happening. And I don't know yet if it's like, is this like, what do I do with this? I had so many questions. This whole thing has been like a pressure pot of a feeling. Like I've been feeling like a little pressure pot through this whole thing of like, oh my God. And I feel like now I literally have two supervisors. So it's like this is like a real situation now. Like I can't suck. Like I can't be horrible. But I still feel because I haven't really spoken to anybody about it thoroughly, right? This has all been my work. It's hard because I don't have that feedback yet. And it's like I keep looking at it and I just constantly feel this pull of like make it good so that you're not crazy and make it good so like this isn't like a waste of time and all this stuff where it's like calm down. It's not that deep and you have supervisors, but it's like no. It's like I'm still stuck in that mentality and it's like, kind of stressful. I hate the idea of wasting people's time. It's like my ultimate thing. It's like literally my biggest like issue in academia. I would say like I was talking way before about how like I never would go to office hours, nothing. All this stuff because like I don't want to like randomly waste people's time and I respect professors a lot. I respect that they have a lot going on and all this stuff and I feel like in my head I'm like I cannot what one thing I refuse to be is a waste of time. I don't know. It's not even in everything, but it's definitely in like my academic life. I feel that a lot. And I just like, I don't want to be bad because it's like, I don't want to, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, so I think that's why I'm like, I'm really like pouring time into it. It's like, no, we will not, I don't like, I can't fail. You get me? But that being said, reading this paper about the amygdala. Finally, I'm not fully understanding yet this cholinergic interactions thing. It seems like there's some kind of chemical that releases from the amygdala. But look, there's ACH here. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to give me a better summary of this because it's a little bit wordy for me. I have really lost my fear of wordiness, I would say, through this process. Like not my own wordiness, but wordiness in a project, in a paper, I mean. Like I'll look at these really dense texts and I think ChatGPT, like I credit ChatGPT for that, but also like I just look for what I can understand and try to understand that. And then if I don't understand more, like I'll ask ChatGPT to explain it simply to me. And then I've learned so much doing that. And just I feel like I've really picked up my academic vocabulary doing that by a lot. Just asking, can you explain this simply? And then asking questions. I think I'm a bit too tired right now to understand. I've been studying kind of all day and working all day, and I try to give myself like a mental break today, but I've been really getting burnt out. I burn out really easily, actually, and then I just push through the burnout, but it's really hard, and I just get kind of like icky feeling. But I just wanted to get like one little lead tonight because this is kind of my biggest thing that I have left. Everything else is actually really close. But I don't think it should be hard. I just wanna understand. So I just wanna have some stuff ready for tomorrow. What I was saying for my model is that I was like, I know the amygdala needs to go off to set off the acetylcholine because acetylcholine is an arousal chemical and the amygdala tells you to be aroused. So the amygdala, so different modulators don't act directly on memory everywhere. They activate this, which I think is coming from the amygdala, and then this causes that acetylcholine to be released, and the acetylcholine is the thing that changes how strongly memories are stored. So I was just looking for like a better explanation because I can't just be like amygdala goes up, acetylcholine goes up. After all this, I better at least get a good grade in my empirical project, like grade. It actually, I was a bit worried about my class grades because I was a little bit checked out for semester, and I've been really focused on this as well. But apparently, this paper is worth like a good portion of our grade. Like at least I think it's like a third. So at least I think I can do well on that. And if I do well second semester, then I'm not looking at a very bad grade at all. Because I didn't excel this semester at all. I did mid. Well, who knows how I'll do on these other exams, but I don't think I'm gonna get like the best grade in the world. So neuromodulators release in the amygdala, causing this chemical release, triggering acetylcholine release elsewhere. I'm imagining the hippocampus too, but I don't know yet. So an emotionally important event happens which releases. This is my question, is that I thought the amygdala was the thing that basically tells you that something, like tells you that something is stressful. So that's what's kind of confusing me about this lineup, which is like emotionally important event happens, stress being one of those, and the neuromodulators go up. But how do the neuromodulators know to go up? But this, it's like this little loop. How does the brain detect arousal? How does the brain detect arousal? Like, I thought the amygdala was responsible for that. Okay, so a threat happens. Sensory and cortical areas detect this. So I guess it's our senses. Then the arousal systems are activated. Then the neuromodulators are released as a reflex. I've been kind of numb to the fact that a good thing is happening to me and that it's working out because I'm just, my baseline is things aren't going to work out for you and there's going to be like a failure and a stressor at the other end of this, but you have to persist anyways. So it's like whether something good, whether this is actually working or not, like I will persist, you know? I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, I feel like I've gotten, this is like actually happening and working out for me, but I'm treating it as like, this is not like, I'm still at the exact same baseline. My same baseline is like, I'm stressed and this is not, this is going to fail, but like, just keep going. So it doesn't, I don't think like I haven't actually even stopped to be like, oh wow, amazing, like this is working out, like you can chill now. It's like you cannot chill, you cannot rest until it is over, until you have the most ultimate proof in the world that like this went right. You know, like I've like I'm completely also like the fact that like this is like I actually am gonna probably do this as like a job, like I might be good at this. Like it's not like I can tell you that like verbally, but I cannot, like my body cannot register it. Like it's not, like my brain is not there. I mean, my physically I'm just not there at all. Like I can't register that a good thing is happening to me right now, like at all. Like my body is like things will persist horribly, but my mind is like this is working out so you should keep doing it, but like my body's like yes, and it's also going to be horrible somehow. Like this will fail somehow, but also it's going good for me. And like I'm still in the mentality of like, but I'm probably crazy. Like I'm probably crazy, but I'm gonna keep doing it. Where it's like you're not crazy and like this is actually working. But like my baseline, like physical experience of the world is just like you are insane. Nothing that you do works, and this is gonna fail. And like there's something like probably another stressful thing coming out the other end. I'm like, what's gonna happen next? I'm gonna fail my final. I'm gonna fail my master's degree program. What's coming? Like, what's happening? I don't know, but I have to keep doing this. So yeah, I made apple crumble though. I feel like persistence is like my baseline state. Like it doesn't matter. I feel like the reason I got through this project to this point, and I'm not registering at all. Like I feel like I'm again like I can say it, but it's hard to feel it. That like I worked really, really hard, like hundreds of hours over the last months to do something completely different than I ever had done before. And it worked. And like, it's like, okay, great. Right. But the reason I got here in the first place is my baseline is like, nobody's going to tell you you're good. Nobody's going to validate you. You're not going to get validation. You are not going to get positive feedback from the world. You will only get negativity from the world. And horrible things will continue to happen to you. But you have to just keep doing what you're doing, and you just have to keep like working hard. And it's kind of weird because it's like, oh, I'm here and like this is actually happening for me and this is working for me. And like something great is kind of happening to me. Like the thing that I wanted the most was to do this. I'm so close. I'm even writing like the aura of formulas. Like my method section is actually coming together. Everything keeps checking out. Every single part of my paper keeps checking out. It's because even if this is going good, my body is like, but everything else around is going bad. I have other things, and they're not. But I have other things that are like in the background simmering that like they're probably fine because my life actually keeps getting better and better. But I'm like, one of those things is gonna like something here is like not gonna work out right. Something here is gonna result in some disastrous emotional like failure soon. Because it was everything for a while. Like it was like my love life, my school life, my inner world. Like everything was like, it was just like negativity after negativity with like nothing I could do for a while. And it's like, no, this is working. Maybe other things in the background are probably working out for me too. I did a lot of studying for my biological psychology class today. Hopefully that's going to work out. Like, hopefully I actually studied well enough to get a good grade. Like, it was actually sitting well with me. I looked at my R assignment today and it really wasn't as complicated as I thought. Granted, I'm looking at it and I'm like, what am I going to get off here? Like, I'm not going to do it in some certain way that the teacher is looking for. I'm going to do bad. I'm going to fail. It's like, you know, it's hard because I feel like also the whole path to this was me working on this, but also everything in my life I was working on at the same time. Where it's like, okay, you have no money. You're in a new country. You have to get your housing situation right. You need to get like, there's no backup for you. There's like, everything was like, and I had to just like work hard to get here and all this stuff. Usually within all those things, I mean, I actually did it. Like, I'm here, I have a job, I have everything. Amongst all of these different things, one of them was usually gonna like irritate me or like kind of like a book stack kind of falling. But I actually did make it through each and every one of those situations. Like, I actually kind of did it. I don't know. Maybe this will change like my whole worldview. I feel like it kind of has been. Like, I'm like, oh, if this is working out for me, maybe everything else is gonna work out too a little bit better. It's just like a negative self-perception, but I need to work on that. It was like in my last video, I was talking about how manifestation, they tell you like this is the thing that I've internalized the most from manifestation, that because I suck at it. And I feel like it has good lessons to teach you sometimes. But it's like if something sometimes you're seeking something that actually like it's a feeling that you're looking for in your life, you know? I keep looking for things in my external world to like that's the thing that's going to show you that you can relax. This is the theme of my life. I'm not good at this. This is like my thing I'm the worst at. Like I keep looking for things to tell me that I can chill, but like my circumstances improve drastically around me, but I still feel exactly the same always. Like there's always like another challenge to overcome. I think it's really time for me to start working on that. Is like this like what I'm learning. Or sometimes I look at things that sacrifices that I made to get here. Like for example, okay, I didn't focus as much in class the first semester and worked on this instead. But I was talking to my friend now about how hard the job market is now. I was like, you know what? Everybody on earth, like not everybody on earth, most of the job pool now has a master's degree. Not everybody can say that they solved a big issue in science, potentially, or did something really unique, or really went out of their way to do something excellent. Not everybody's going to come out of their master's degree with a published, like a publication work, like published work. If I hadn't done this, I would leave my degree with just a degree. Like I wouldn't have left with anything special. And then I wouldn't be doing computational modeling at all. Like this opened up a window of like now I can apply for a master's degree in computational modeling. And that's probably still gonna be maybe an even better niche skill than just like a baseline psychology degree. I don't know, but maybe. And I feel like, okay, it was actually not a bad thing because we're in such a competitive job market that doing something special or different is actually better than just being like, I got good grades in my master's degree program, because a lot of people have good grades in their master's degree program, to be fair. So even though it's like, oh, okay, I didn't do like, I wasn't the most stellar student in my first semester, but it's like, yeah, but I'll have a publication in something that I care about. And so sometimes I really look down on myself for like the sacrifices I make or for the choices I make, because I have low self-esteem from having had mental health issues and stuff. And I think I see every unique move I make as like, maybe you're crazy, maybe the world is falling apart, maybe this, but it's like, maybe it's time to look at my decisions and be like, I actually make good decisions. And maybe I have like good instinct, good instinct to do stuff. And it was just significantly more important for me in every possible sense to work on this. So it's like, okay, not having the best grade in the class is like, okay, what about it? I feel like this will really show that I'm PhD ready, and that makes me happy. And PhD programs are also very competitive. Like masters are competitive, PhD is like really competitive. So not to stress anybody, but that's just like that was my thought process with myself. It's like it's not a bad thing to make a unique move sometimes. And I think that I was like, oh my God, you're skipping class and you're not doing this, where it's like, yeah, but this is probably a really, really good thing to walk away with versus just being like, I got a good grade in my master's degree program. And I learned how to use AI really well. That's really special too. So, it's like I have to give myself that pat on the back because I busted my ass for this. Like literally hundreds of hours over months and months with no validation at all. I was just like, yep, we're doing this. And it was stressful, it was tiring, it's exhausting. I'm tired now. Apple crumble helped, but I'm still tired. It's like, okay, it really wasn't that bad of a thing to do. A thing to do something special to make yourself stand out. I actually feel like you get a lot of flack for doing things in a very unconventionally, but it's people that are doing unconventional things that are actually getting the advantage at the end of the day in our current job market, that are going out and being self-starters, doing something different, or going out of their way to make themselves stand out a little bit more. Because again, like it's just like it's the job market just sucks right now. Like everybody I know is having issues. I had issues. It takes a lot of networking and a lot of doing something unique. Who knows if this will even help me at the end of the day? It's really that bad. But this means I can go into another master's program that's more relevant to me. Again, I just have a lot of different sacrifices and unconventional decisions I made on the side that I really worried about and like I was anxious about and all this stuff, but I really don't regret them anymore. Again, because like I'm fending for myself out here. I don't have millionaire parents. I'm just me on my own, and the job market is crazy and different one than our parents had and our grandparents had and stuff. And I was like, am I wasting time in my young life by anchoring in? And I'm like, I don't know how it's going to be in the next 5-10 years, but if I anchor in and that means that I have a job, like I'm happy and I have things on my resume and I have a publication and everything, will be good. So yeah. And if I'm like, I feel like I'm also feeling a little bit of like again, my mental illness, like that I had and have and struggle with, whatever, it sucked. But I'm like, you know what? If going through one of the most contentious gaps in science and feeling absolutely awful because of it for years means that I have an advantage in the job market, period. Like, yes, like I'll take it. You know what? You gotta take anything you can get in this world. I'm happy because at least I'm filling a niche, an underserved niche, and that's like I myself am the underserved niche. I am the underserved person in the niche, but again, like you gotta take what you can get in this world. So let's go back to this for a second so I can look up better papers. Okay, so I guess our brain just really rapidly processes that something is stressful. That sets off all of this I was learning today in my stuff. Hypothalamus, brainstem nuclei, the amygdala, and the neuromodulators are released as a reflex, including all these different things. So it was already kind of, my gosh, it was kind of already how I was saying, but I'm just confused because in this other paper they said that the amygdala made the NE release and then the NE made the ACH release. Does it matter that much? I don't know. One thing I don't know so far about computational neuroscience, and I need to ask my supervisor. I also need to email somebody right now to make sure I get my supervisor form filled, but basically, doesn't matter that I put NE in, it's effectively gonna be causing this. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, I'm done talking. I'm kind of tired too. I keep trying to fix my sleep schedule, but it's just not happening for me. Is that my last issue? Why does the amygdala trigger the acetylcholine? How does negative feedback work? What does it mean for negative feedback to be disrupted? Is a question that's somewhere here. Like I have papers. Is that kind of it? That I'm just thinking through everything. That might be the last big question in my paper. The other thing is decay. Like how I already have it in my head how I think this works. Basically, why does the acetylcholine decay slower, like take a while to decay in those rat studies that I read? But I think that cortisol stuff might have something to do with it. I just don't know how yet. But I think we're very close done with getting like the inner mechanics of this together. Like that might be it. How is the amygdala like? Why does the amygdala do that? And there we go. There's other little things I have to figure out. Wait, while we're here, why is the job market so messed up? I'm really confused. I know it's like AI, or like people keep putting out ghost like stuff, ghost like job applications and stuff, and like they'll ghost people. Like they'll just put out like fake ones and ghost people. What's funny is that people nowadays switch jobs faster than like faster in past generations. Like people don't stay in the same job position their whole life. So you would think that with everybody moving jobs 24/7, there'd always be more jobs, but I guess not. The economy is something I truly don't understand that deeply. The other funny thing is that like we're gonna have to start making new degree types because in the past nobody got a bachelor's. People got high school education. So that was like the baseline for like a lot of entry level positions. Then everybody started getting a bachelor's degree, right? It's like, okay, entry level position, you need a bachelor's degree. Now, a lot more people are getting a master's degree. So people are like, the most basic of jobs will be like, okay, you need a master's degree and like 10 years experience. Bro, what? I swear, it's all a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme to keep making us get more degrees. Soon they're gonna be like, everyone needs to be like a postdoctorate to be like a secretary. They're gonna make new degree types. They're gonna be like postdoc, late stage doc. The reason I'm like it's a pyramid scheme, education is getting more expensive. So that's the other crazy thing. That's more expensive to get like a degree now. So people are paying more money for more degrees. Are they everyone is just going into more debt, I guess. But the degrees aren't seen as special because like more people have them. Where it's like at some point you gotta just say like this is honestly just the base cutoff, and if everybody's more educated, then like so be it. Because why do you need a master's degree to do like I don't know an unpaid internship or something like what doesn't make any sense. So like at a certain point you just got to accept that people are more educated and like that's a good thing, but or this is the thing, if people stopped elevating, it's like it's like degree, it's like inflation where like the degrees like that you need keep going up more, where it's like at a certain point it's like if you keep telling people that they need to get a master's degree to be like a secretary or to be like a I don't know like a just like a low level like paid intern or something, they're gonna keep getting the degrees. But if you just are straight up honest and be like, you know what, we really don't need someone who has a master's degree, people won't feel the need to go get a master's degree. So it's like they're creating a demand, like they're creating a demand that people get more degrees. So everyone's going to more debt to get more degrees, where it's like it's a pyramid scheme. Like we need to stop. And people who like school should go to school. If you don't want to get 10 degrees, like you shouldn't have to get 10 degrees, to be honest. Or people, I think workplaces get greedy where it's like, yeah, I could have someone with like a master's degree and like 13 years of experience to do like to flip burgers at McDonald's. So like I'll do it because like why not? Like that's even better for me. But it's like, but you don't even need that though. So it's just unnecessary and like random. Okay, well we're almost through actually. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what was the question I had here? Acetylcholine is going up if the amygdala is activated. I'm still trying to figure out how to translate that into my model in the best way. So what we learned today is why that happens. Is there like a way to determine like the number? This is the one question, like the big question I have is how do you get these numbers to be accurate and represent accurately like what's going on?
Good morning again. I just submitted my supervisor form and I feel like my life is changing a lot right now. And I can tell because things are going really different right now. Usually, like, I feel like there's this curse in my head of like everything happens last minute. Everything is like, on the dot, or I'm late, or it's messed up, or like I'm not good enough, I can't do it, like all this stuff. So, first of all, professors at the school are so good at responding so fast. Like they respond faster than me. And I was so worried because I thought, okay, my supervisor form is due on the 12th. I was like, I'm just not gonna be able to get a second supervisor. It's not gonna work. I already didn't think I was gonna get the first, then I got a second. And then I had to fill out this form, and my supervisor has been gone because of a family emergency. So I was like, okay, this is it. Like, this is a situation where, like, I'm not gonna get my supervisor for me on time for that reason. It's gonna be a thing. Nope. First one, like first professor, literally, I didn't even notice he gave me my form signed back within like an hour or two. I was like, what? And then I reached out to like the emergency contact of like my other supervisor. She responded literally day of, filled the form out within an hour. I just submitted it, and then I thought it was due on Monday, so I was like, oh, I'm so bad. I'm so like last minute with it. Turns out it was due on the 16th, so it's not even due for like another week. So I'm a week early. And then with my empirical project, I'm like months and months and months and months early. Like I already have most of my literature review done and everything. So I'm just sitting here like this is really new for me. Like everything is so chill. Like, okay. I'm so used to things taking like a massive effort on my part. And it's like I'm like, it's like the final countdown and I'm like running to finish everything and it's like this massive hassle and all this stuff. So maybe I really like shifted my life a lot. As much as I wasn't sure whether it was like the right thing to go down this path, I've just been like, the more I've gone down it, it's just hitting me like this was such a good decision. And I was so nervous in the beginning because this isn't my field that much. I was like, oh, is this like bad? Is this like not a good idea? And I just have been just feeling grateful as I've gone down. And I feel like it's such a massive gift for me personally to take into my life to feel like, oh, I'm competent and I can follow myself and all these things. Like, I was really worried that I was gonna be an incompetent adult, I would say. I don't know why, but it's like, oh, I'm actually competent at things and I don't suck in like everything. I just feel like I can look back at my past self with so much more compassion and just be like, oh, she was really like there was my excuses. I was like, I'm just making excuses for myself. It's like, oh, they were actually valid. Like it's not like a me thing. It's that I really was like just like struggling. First, I got done diagnosed ADHD. Then, you know, like I just had like a lot going on at school and I had like mental health issues and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, I'm not it's been such a gift doing this project. I'm not a liar. I'm competent. I was valid for my reasons for having issues. Like all these different things. It's like, oh, I just feel like it's been such a gift to take this into my life and like the rest of my adulthood. And I'm so glad I went down this path.
Hey, we're back and continuing to study for my neuroscience exam, which is in 2 days now. It's past midnight, so it's Saturday. Um, and I've been having like kind of a weird shift emotionally, and I feel like I've just really been sitting recently with how far I've come. I've been really excited and really happy about that, and feeling a lot of hope for the future. But I'm having a bit of a crisis because I've been in London for a little bit over 2 years now, and I just I haven't honestly fallen in love with it. I love it. Like as a city, I love it, but I don't think I want to be here forever. And it's just kind of an awkward space because I'm gonna get a graduate visa after I graduate here to stay another like year, 2 years. But I um I just don't know from there, and I've been having this little bit of a crisis. Like I was taking stock. I'm 24. I'm gonna be 25 this year. I don't know. I felt so displaced by this whole entire period of by my whole life. Let's just say my whole life, but really these last few years I've felt really displaced and strange, and like I've been in this weird movement and all these things, and I just really want a place that I just go and I stay there forever. But there's like a lot of different factors right now, and I've been getting kind of frustrated because I want to settle not settle down like for life, but I have all these ideas of all the things that I want to have, and like a house I want to set up and the way I want to grow and all these things, and I don't feel like I'm going to be here forever, and it kind of makes me feel a little bit like, okay, I don't want to keep settling things in here for somewhere that I don't want to be forever. And I've just been feeling this intense craving for home, for like my own home, not for like my old home, but just for a home and for somewhere that I can grow and really settle down and all these different things. And I'm definitely gonna be here a few more years, especially because my cat is like a senior cat, and I already forced her to move here, and I don't want to move her again yeah, I don't want to move her again because she's already pretty old. She's like 15, and I was just like doing the calculations in my head after 2 years, how old is she gonna be? I know it sounds silly, but it's just like I've been feeling kind of weird and like in this kind of space where I just want to go settle down somewhere that I love. but I don't want to rush to move. Like I want to feel like I align with a home. I don't. The other thing is, some people really like to move around. Like, oh, like your 20s are for moving everywhere and going to like 100 different places. But I'm gonna be honest. Like I've been through so much instability. I just want to be somewhere where I feel stable and somewhere that I can really just grow in and root into and like build a life there. And this is the other dilemma I have. It's not just my cat. I know that's like a silly one, but also we're about midway through this current dictatorship, and I don't want to go live in a dictatorship, but I also kind of miss the US. And I don't think that I could see myself feeling at home in another country. I mean, I could try, but I don't want to feel displaced anymore. I want to feel at home, and I just like kind of miss home, and I miss my people. As crazy and kind of annoying as we are sometimes, like I do. And it's like I don't want to go home to somewhere just falling apart and hectic and dangerous and scary, but also do like I don't want to be here forever. So I've been kind of annoyed, and then I've been having this like aging crisis because I was watching a video of a YouTuber that I've watched since like I was like in high school, and she just turned 30. And I don't have anything against myself. Like I'm my mentality is like I'm gonna be internally young forever. My mom has looked young forever. I feel good about how I'm gonna age. I feel good about the way I take care of myself. The crisis I'm having is I want kids. I know this is so much random stuff to think about when you're 24, but I think I'm thinking about it because I need to figure out if like moving home and how long do I want to stay here and all these different things, and I want to settle down and all this stuff. And it's like I know it sounds silly to think about it at this age, but I'm also, I don't know, I was watching her at 30 and she didn't have kids, and I was like I want kids so bad, but also I've been feeling like I've been pouring so much of my life into something really serious, and I had to in some ways, and I had to do that for myself, and I also had to like move around all these things. I'm like I just feel like I haven't gotten the chance to be young yet, and I haven't gotten the chance to really enjoy my time in a really selfish way. And I feel good right now because I'm healing so much, and I feel like I've been feeling safe for the first time in my life, which is why I think I'm having this thought process with myself. Like I've really started to feel internally safe and internally stable and all these things. Like I feel so much better, and I'm so grateful for having been in London. I feel like London brought so much out of me, brought my work ethic out. I feel like I'm gonna have a very stable and nice life because I lived here for this period of time. And I took that jump and I took that challenge and I developed so much of myself here. Like I feel really good about it, and I do really like the city, but it just like I've just been having a little bit of like a crisis of like, oh my God, like that's just like another thing to think about when you're a woman. It's like the the body clock of like, okay, how many years do I have for me left and like all these things. And then I'm sitting here like, okay, I don't have that much money right now, but I'm elevating life, and like I feel like I've just been running all these calculations in my head of like what's life gonna bring, and I don't know, I need to stop thinking about it. Like it's really not that serious, but I'm just thinking this because also if it weren't for the fact that there's this crazy dictatorship going on in the US, like I wouldn't even be having this crisis. I'd be like, oh, I'll just go home when I want to. But I've just been like, kind of like, do I want to move back in the middle of that? And then you feel like you can't talk and you can't do anything. And it's like, who knows where it's going next? Who knows where it's going the next? I mean, the country's basically crumbling to pieces because of the inadequacy of our government, who government doesn't know how to do anything. Do I trust that it'll be safe in 2 years? Um, but yeah, I just don't see I was like looking around at places. I've been watching a lot of travel videos recently and being like, where do I want to, like, oh, I could move to like I was watching videos of Switzerland. I was like, Switzerland looks like a great place to live, but it's like just want to be somewhere that feels like home. And we moved around when I was little. Like we moved when I was little, we when I was like a 1 year old, we moved to Brazil. Then a few years later, we moved to Peru, and I didn't even want to move to Peru. Then we moved back to Brazil when I was really little. I mean, no, back to the US. We were going to move to another country, didn't happen. We stayed in the US. Then a few years later, we were going to move to India. So when I was like 10, my dad got a job, and we were like all the way packed up. We'd had a goodbye party and everything for my friends, for me, and it didn't happen. We stayed in the US, and I don't know. Then I went to New York and that was great. And then I feel like I kind of felt pushed and kind of forced by life to move to London. So it was kind of destabilizing. I had like my housing situation was messed up for a while. Like I had to move from like my dad's to my friends, and then my friend had a thing, and then I had to move to London with nothing. I lived in a hostel, then lived in like a small apartment, and all these things where it's like I just have felt like I just want to be like in my body and still and stable and all these different things that I think came from my healing journey. And it's like, where do I go? And I want to just let life take me there. But I'm just eager to flesh out my own ideas about like my home, and like I want to have like a nice house. I was thinking like it'd be so fun to make like a little home gym and have a cute apartment, try dating, maybe getting something more long term, like I just feel like because I don't know, I'm just thinking about the future. But I gotta just write it out. I mean, I still have to finish my master's degree. I'll still be here for another like 2 years probably, but then it's like where? And it's like I think I've also subconsciously not been getting attached to people here, which has been diminishing my experience because I think I crave stability more than like maybe the average person my age because my life has been so horribly unstable and like messy and all this stuff. And it's like I want to give myself that as like a present. That's why I work hard. It's like I want to give myself that gift. And I think subconsciously I don't want to get attached to anybody here because I'm like I don't really want to be here forever, and I don't want to get attached to more people that I'm going to leave again. And I don't do I want to date somebody here? Do I want to do this? Like no. I don't know. I just don't feel I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like I'm going to be here for like the rest of my life. I love London and it's been great, but I just don't think I will be. I dream about being a parent so much. Like I'm very excited to be a parent one day, and I really want like I have a strong desire for children. But I think going through this whole thing, have just been getting cold feet. I obviously will still have kids. Like there's no question in my mind, but I just feel like I had my whole life. I've never had like freedom to myself and time for me and like all this stuff, and I just feel I think like I'm so grateful that I did this project. I feel like it opened up so much for me that made it so that I'll have a great rest of my life. Like I will always have a good job, I think, and like because of not even because of my expertise, but because of my soft skills, like my discipline and hard work and everything. And I feel stable in myself, and I really needed that stability for myself. Like emotionally, I just needed that really badly, and I had to provide that for myself. But I've just never had a time that's like just for me, just for fun. I've never had the money for that either. Like I've never had the money to be like, I'm just gonna go shopping. I'm just gonna like hang out. I'm just gonna go see my friends. I'm just gonna do this and that. And it's been kind of like this experience of trauma has ate into my life so badly and ate into my young life so badly, and it felt like such a heavy weight that I'm just getting off my back. And I just feel like I want to have a whole decade to myself. Like I always wanted 3 kids. Like that's my plan. Like I want 3 kids really badly, but I'm like, you see the plight of being a woman, it's like crunching the numbers and just being like, okay, like can I still have like, 8 more years to myself and still do that? Or do I have to like be like, well, I guess we're having less kids, or like all these different little questions where I'm like, now I'm trying to factor in like I want selfish me time because, it wasn't like I'm like, I've just been like piddling around all my 20s, and now it's like, well, time to get serious when you're like 28. It's like I've been serious. And I was like, the thought of having to once again sacrifice my own time to use all of that time to take care of like another large responsibility in life, where it's like my whole life has been a large responsibility from, it's been like my whole life. And it's like I don't I wanted to set everything up to give myself leeway to have fun and to be irresponsible without feeling like I was going to come home to nothing and have nothing for myself and not stress and just like all of that. And it's like I just am starting to get that together where it's like, okay, great, now I'm gonna have like, I'm not gonna be jobless, I'm not gonna be homeless, I'm not gonna be this, I'm not gonna be that. It's like great. But it's like the idea that in like 5 more years or something I'd be like, okay, now, like now, because being a mother, it just sucks being a woman so bad sometimes. Where it's like it's so great to be a mom, but it's like being a mom, it's like you have to sacrifice like your sense of self and your like your freedom and your mentality and your everything in a way that I think guys don't feel the need to. Granted, I will talking never get in a relationship with somebody who would not see parenthood as like an equal thing. Never. It's just not going to happen for me. That's why I haven't really dated anybody because trust, I'm looking at people and I can be like, you're not, that's not going to happen. Like I'm very good at like, I get a good read on people. I've predicted very, very specific stuff about people. I get a good read about people. I'm like, this is not going to pan out and this is not going to happen for me. Or like, I'll get like a little attitude that I'm like, yeah, that's just gonna blow up. That's not gonna happen. And yeah, so I'm like, first of all, never in my life would I ever, if I got a sense that somebody was not gonna be an equal parent with me and they're gonna dump it all on me, divorce, break up immediately. That's first of all. But at the same time, like your kids do rely on you so in such an intense way. And it's like, I don't like, am I gonna give up? It's like I don't want I'm just now I'm like I just started to get my freedom at 24 and it's not even fully there but it's getting there. It's like the fact that I would in 6 years be like, "Okay, playtime over. Like I'm just going to have kids now and they're going to be my whole life." It's like, "No. We're going to freeze some eggs. We're going to freeze some eggs or something cuz that's not going to happen." I'm going to look up freezing eggs immediately cuz like there's just no way. Okay, I want to build a good home for not only myself but like children, right? But I'm just like but my youth though, like, I feel like trauma really threw off like my life plan by a lot because it just added this weight into my early 20s where it's like it rearranged the life plan significantly where it's like this wasn't part of the plan. Like the plan was like be in your 20s and then go like hang out, go date a bunch of people, like go this, do that. And it's like, no, I'm traumatized. I have intimacy issues. I need to heal from that. I need to, like, I'm really feeling messed up internally. I need to, like, deal with that. I need to find this issue because if not, I'll feel weird. And it threw the whole plan off to the point where I'm like, okay, now the whole plan has to be shifted to the fact that, like, I need to take care of myself emotionally and, like, give myself that stuff that I feel like I lost through that experience of having trauma in my early 20s and be like, what's going to be good for me? And like being selfish because I feel like I haven't. Even this paper has been kind of like, okay, doing it for the cause or whatever. But it's like, I'm like, I feel like it just threw off my 20s so bad. And it's like, okay, I'm great. Like, we're just getting our solid footing. And I feel like I grew so much through it. And it's like, great. Like, I'm feeling really good about how like my life will go. But it just threw off the 20s and it's like okay it's like have start like dating in your early 20s, start getting with somebody in your mid 20s, then you're going to get married at like 27, start having kids at 29. It's like no, the whole number game is like really thrown off now and I'm just like okay, I need to sort everything. I just made a massive breakthrough that made it so that I don't have to make like lines, like I don't have to make a line, if that makes sense. I think of actually encoding place cells or doing I still need memory content, but let me show you. So basically, I've been pre-writing my essays for my exam. Um, I don't know what the prompts will be, but I've just been sort of trying to do this to see like if I were to write, like just like imagining practicing, and if I were to write it, what would I write? And am I hitting the word count and do I know enough? So that's how I've been studying. And I started really thinking about negative feedback more. And I got like inspired to write this little post and then I was reflecting on it. So I'm going to read you the post and then I'm going to tell you how this is going to impact my study. So learn something interesting in my neuroscience class. I've always seen cortisol villainized online as a sort of stress chemical that is giving you cortisol face and making you stay stuck in fight or flight mode. But in actuality, cortisol is the hormone that tells your body to end fight or flight mode by shutting down some of the neuromodulators associated with stress. The actual problem is that in chronic stress, your body is not able to listen to that cue, which means that your, I need to edit that, hypothalamic pituitary adrenal HPA axis gets chronically activated. Your body learns to overproduce cortisol while in the moment to attempt to shut down stress mode, undersuppresses it in your normal day to day, and then later on, your body actually oversuppresses cortisol in later stress, so your response stays activated. It's not that you need to lower cortisol, It's that you need to teach your body to actually take that cortisol as a cue to relax rather than ignoring it by showing your body that it's safe. We've kind of given cortisol a bad rap it doesn't deserve. It's trying to help us. It's not the root issue. So focusing on doing activities that lower cortisol isn't necessarily the way to frame that type of healing, even if cortisol is probably impacting certain things, because cortisol isn't causing fight or flight. It's releasing because your body is working hard to stop a fight or flight. It can't leave, and it's not listening to the sign that it needs to end it. Cortisol is kind of screaming at your body to stop, and your body is ignoring that because it doesn't feel safe, right? So let's go into my paper. I feel like poor cortisol is just kind of trying to help us out, and we're like, cortisol, everybody needs to go on a diet to lower cortisol and all this stuff. And it's like it is bad that it's up, but it's not up because it's the bad thing, and it's not up because it's the stressful thing. It's up to tell you to stop doing that, and you're just like, you know what I mean? Like we pinpointed like the wrong person. Like it's kind of getting framed, I feel like it's getting framed in the situation when other things are the actual issue. But anyways, so then I started thinking about this, and oh my gosh, this, let me show you like I have them side by side somewhere here. So this is basically like the issue that I was trying to figure out is like, how do I make a difference between acute stress and inescapable stress in my model? This is where like this is my old proposal where I was trying to explain everything and how it worked. And this is what I was trying, the difference that I was trying to get onto my actual model is that when it came to acute stress, this one is acute stress. So basically what happened, it's kind of hard to tell on these, but so in the acute stress group, they were exposed to a stressor that was like not really was not traumatic for the rats. It was just like, okay, went up for a minute and then went down. So it was like, okay, like you see it went up, the acetylcholine went up, and then like let's see the square one, it just immediately starts going back down. Because the rat just didn't find it really that stressful after a second and it just went down, acetylcholine. And then in this one, this is the inescapable stress one. So they get in here, the acetylcholine goes up, and then they're in the inescapable stress, so it just stays up and up and up. It starts going down, but not very fast. Like this is time here, so in like this took about 20 minutes, and I think they were interacting with the acute stressor for like maybe 20 minutes or something, and then it just went right back down. But when it came to these rats in inescapable stress, it went up, and then they were there for like how long? Like 20 minutes. And so it went up and it stayed up and up and up, and then they left and it went even higher up for a minute, and then it went back down. But it never even went fully back down to baseline. Like you can see that for some of the rats, this is like the range. It never even went up, like it stayed up at like 130 even. And then for some of them, it went all the way back down after like an hour. Because this is an hour after the inescapable stress. So they were still stressed, or they were still in a state of arousal for like quite a while after leaving the stressor. Whereas with these, like after they left the stressor, it was just like down, 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 down. Okay. So I kept trying to figure out like how am I gonna do that? And what I decided reading that is that there's gonna be this situation, I guess. This is really fresh, so I might not do it that well, but basically like when ACH goes up, maybe negative feedback there should be like a little thing of negative feedback that basically what it means is that the neuromodulators start to go down. But then there's got to be something like, but if like the amygdala is still activated or something, then something happened. There's actually like I had it and then I feel like I lost it. Okay, I'm back. Let's try that again. Actually, because I started thinking about it more. Like what I was meaning is that as the ACH goes up, when it gets this, it should be a sign for the stress response, like for it also start to go down. Like, okay, this means ACH goes down now. But if like it's something like this, like if it gets this, then it starts to go down. That's its sign. But if this is happening and like there's something else that needs to be happening, it's like if this and inescapable, then like this is essentially kind of null. It's something complicated, but it's something like that. So this should be the sign. That's why, like, for example, here, like, I'm imagining it like this, like, okay, it went up. These rats actually were stressed a bit. Some of them weren't stressed at all, but these rats were stressed by it was brushing. They were getting brushed. So, like, once he gets up here, if you were to, okay, then like the feedback, and then it's like, okay, done. We're down. But in this one, it's like, okay, do it. But then it's like the amygdala is still like highly activated or something. So it's like, I can't do it. I don't know how to put it yet, but do you see what I'm saying? It's like here, okay, the NF is a sign for it to start going back down. But here it's getting that, but it's not going back down. And that's when all the stress impacts should happen. Like this. Again, this is like, and if the NF is like not happening and it's null, then basically other like the stress impacts, stress plasticity rules should start happening. Does that make sense? So this is like experiment 1, and this is experiment 2. So what's gonna happen? Because I was trying to figure out like what makes it. One of my big challenges is like how do I show the model that it's inescapable stress is happening? And I was like doing a lot of reflecting on what's the difference between acute stress and inescapable stress, and how does your body differentiate? And I think it's this. Once this starts to become null, then it starts to trigger these rules more, and it starts to trigger like the high stress impact because then your body is like, oh no, and then it starts to do all that like the CA1 gets less LTP, like stuff like that, where it's like, oh my God, this is happening now. And then here's the other question is like, now how does it end? So those are like my 2 quote unquote stories that I need to figure out like how they work. But this is like the pivot point. Okay, that's the pivot point. Is that this right here isn't like going down. The reason I keep working on this when I don't even need to right now is that there's like this torturous element to this that I just want it done so bad. Like I just want it to be over so I can get it off my mind because it's taken up so much of my headspace for so long that it's like, it's like so everyone said this feels like running a giant computer program in my head where it's like an app like an application running in the background or like a website or something running in the background where it starts to kind of like eat into the energy of the other things. And until it's done, my brain is constantly like, okay, well, how does this work? How does this work? Is this good? Is this going to work? And it's like, I just want that background noise to be gone with it, where it doesn't feel like a normal school assignment where I just am like, I could not care less and I don't care to do this, but like, I have to do it. So I'm going to forget about it until it's time for me to work on it. It's like, this is like torturously running in the background of my whole life and suspense. And like, it feels like this really suspenseful thing. So this needs to be this neuromodulatory feedback thing. No, this negative feedback thing needs to be. Let's make the ACH go down. You get me where ACH is like this. This is what ACH is. This means ACH goes down. That's what this should do. We're gonna make it very simple. This is up, and then this makes it go down. As it goes down, I'm guessing that the amygdala is gonna be like unactivated. I don't know if like what connects with what, but this is kind of how it's happening. If ACH is up, then synaptic tagging is happening. And then from there, you get 2 rules. You get the early LTP, and if it's up to X amount, late LTP is happening. If the amygdala is activated, these are all the different rules, then ACH is going up. So let's move this. I've been dying to talk to somebody about this whole project, and I'm getting annoyed that like inescapable stress. This has been kind of stressful because again, it's just been me in isolation working on this, and it's just like, okay, like, is this good? Does this suck? Is this completely unattainable? Like, what's happening? Okay, so this is like the normal. Like, in this one, what happens? So if you get this plus what? Inescapable. There's something here that's missing where it's like, if it's inescapable, I'm not gonna say the acetylcholine stays up, but I'm gonna say it diminishes much slower. It like diminishes way slower. And then amygdala activation states up. I think there's some information on the amygdala that's really the missing thing here. In which case, God, this is like, I don't know why the universe dragged me down this route. Sometimes I look at this and I'm like, I would give anything for this to go away. Anything. It's like I'm too far in to stop, but it's like I would give anything to not think about this anymore. And for this to just be done would like I would die for that to happen. Like I'm so done with like there's always another question. It's so hard. It's actually so hard. There's always another question on the other end. Every time I feel like, okay, I've made progress, it's like, well, think about that though. What about that though? What about that? It's like just stop. Just stop. Like just let me solve the problem. It's giving me like it's driving me actually insane. And I just want this to be done so bad. I want to talk to my supervisor so freaking bad. He's been gone because of like an emergency. It's like, come back. It just like, I haven't had anybody to talk to throughout this whole thing. And it hasn't driven me this insane until now, where it's like, I just want guidance on it so bad. And I just want to know, like, what do I do? It's so tiring, like, mentally. It's like this rock on my head where it's like I just want the rock gone. I just want it gone so freaking bad. I think this the whole thing should just go slower. Like it takes longer to sort of habituate to the stressor. I don't know. I don't know. I would give anything for this to be done. I would give anything for this to be done. And in all the papers, basically there's another part where the stress went up and I could try to figure out something like when inescapable is done, ACH goes up again, but I don't know whether to do that or not, if that's appropriate and how to like incorporate that even a little bit essentially. Like ACH goes up again and then NF happens, but like it is escapable. This project, it's like go away. Stop haunting me, stop plaguing me, stop demanding this of me, universe. Like I just want it to be done so bad so that I can go on with my normal human life and just feel good again and just feel like a freaking 24-year-old again. And I'm watching these freaking YouTube videos of people having fun and doing little resets of their life and making it cute and like all this stuff. And it's like, this is horribly abnormal. This whole thing is abnormal. It's making me feel like a freak. I just want it to be done. I don't want to do it anymore, but it's like it won't go away until I finish it, And it's just like I just want it to be done so bad so I can just feel normal again and feel integrated and like focus my time on like silly things and just feel like when I come home I'm just like that's it. Like I'm rested and I'm just home versus like okay, we're going to go like turn this out again and it's like why? This is stupid. But I'm just so far in that it's like you can't just be like okay, like that's it. Like no, and it will just sit in my head until it's done. It just feels like the stupidest thing in the world and it just makes me feel weird and it just like I love it, but like now it's to the point where I'm like I just want to hand it over to somebody so bad and be done with it or like at least get some advice on it. Like it's just been hundreds. I can't even like hundreds of hours of working on this with literally I've spoken 3 of those hours have been speaking to somebody about it and have gotten minimal feedback and it's just like I just want to be done and I want somebody else to take it and tell me what's good here, what's bad here, like what's this, what's that. And that's what's really driving me kind of insane. I want to throw it in the trash. Not because it's bad, but because I don't want to think about it anymore, but it's like it's making me feel crazy because it's like you have to finish it. But I think that's like almost it. It's just that I still have questions about that and like how does that work? I think that's like pretty much everything as long as I can make that work right. But I still need to figure out the amygdala. I think inescapable should be like a it should be this is the thing is it should be like a maybe a condition that lasts like X amount of time. I don't know how else to do it, because it's like I don't know, that's the best I can do. Inescapable should be a condition that lasts X amount of time and then once that's done, like however that's done, I don't know what the format will be, but like once that's done, then and like in this amount of time, basically, um, like I don't know, I guess. I don't know, something like this. And then because it's like arousing for a longer period of time. And then once that's done, basically, arousal happens one more time, but without the inescapable blocker, you know? So everything can happen kind of more naturally. So the only thing I'm missing here is this that the neuromodulators are inhibiting LTP in the CA1 or inhibiting excitation and LTP in the CA1, I guess. I need to see if they're the same thing. So, if this is happening, basically the CA1 is getting inhibited. That's it. So there should be like I'm trying to make like all the rules I need. There needs to be a neuromodulatory feedback rule that basically just makes ACH go down. Um, and like I guess the amygdala go down. I don't know how I'm gonna do the amygdala yet. I need like an inescapable condition that basically tells the ACH to go down slower, I guess. I need I need like an inescapable stress rule. So like I'm gonna call it NFD. So NFD just like neurofeedback disrupted equals CA1. Like for the amygdala to be activated means that ACH goes up, and then ACH is gonna be current excitation and pattern separation, low, pattern separation, high. And then there's two different rules. So from that point, medium arousal equals early LTP, high arousal equals ERPs. Early LTP and synaptic tagging, and then high arousal is PRPs and late LTP. And then, so when it's consolidating, I guess there needs to be a condition that's like if PRPs, then the tagged memories consolidate, and then the event that triggered the PRPs consolidates. I feel so far away still, and then no tags is like don't consolidate that. But I guess anything with late LTP. You know what sucks is I look at this, I'm like, this whole thing was probably more of like a PhD thing, but I just started it not knowing where it was gonna go at all. Like I had zero clue. And it just kind of sucks because it's like, well, I have this now. And so if I have all this information, like I wanted to flesh out because I don't want to have wasted my time and my energy and stuff. But it's like that's kind of everything that needs to be happening. That's kind of all the rules I need, pretty much. This is something that I need to understand how it works and why, and if I need to incorporate that still. All I know is that a lot of different studies showed that it took longer for ACH to go down as stress went up, I guess. But I just need to figure out like how to kind of incorporate that. So these are like this is like the main chunk of rules. Okay, I decided that I needed to start adding sections, and I was modeling it off of this paper, which is about structural dissociation, clinicians literacy, and I'm gonna basically start to try to think of different section titles for what I'm doing because there's just like a lot going on. I just want to make it readable. So, I think it'll make it easier to write because I'm kind of been lost on like where there's just a lot of information to handle across a lot of different things. So, mm, there. So we have, I'll probably edit these, but like dissociation, a framework in need of cohesion. We have hippocampal sharp wave ripples as a basis of episodic memory. And then next, something like arousal structures the process of memory formation and consolidation. Again, this will get edited, but it'll be something like this. And I'll talk about arousal. I'll talk about like acetylcholine and how that contributes to arousal and the amygdala. We're going to talk about synaptic tagging, tag and capture. Okay, and I guess that's everything that I'm gonna discuss. And then I'm gonna see if they made like a hypothesis section. Yeah, relevance and objectives of the study will be the last piece. So then we'll go ahead and make this into sections too. This is gonna be 2.1, the method. Then we'll have 3.1 is the results. 4.1 is the discussion. And that's everything. So that's the change. It's good because it'll help me write. I think it'll help me format my information better and see what I don't need.
Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna stop the video here. I had actually recorded like maybe 10 more minutes of me showing the new things that I'm adding because I actually worked through a lot of other issues. Like I found papers on synaptic tag and capture for stress, which I'm really excited to read, that basically confirmed what my gut feeling was about it. That basically was saying when the stress started, so it was like when they made the rats go through one thing and then go through like an acute stress, like something minor and acute stress, the minor stress was more like better remembered. But when they had the rats go through one strong situation, like it was already a strong, like very arousing thing, and then acute stress, the stress got worse remembered, because they hypothesized that basically those resources were getting depleted. The PRPs that need to go to the things that are getting tagged started getting depleted. And that was my gut feeling about it. So I was excited to see that. And then I found some more text that I'm gonna just look into. And my last little like problem that there keeps being like another and another is I just need to figure out like the post-stress effect. How do I model that in a way that isn't just like, and that's happening over there? Like I need to get like a good mechanism for it. Really nervous for how this is gonna go because I'm worried that it's like I don't want it to be too many complex things at once, but in my head it all goes together really well, and hopefully I get to see my supervisors soon. So yeah, that's basically it for today, and I have my biological psychology exam in the morning. Wish me luck because I'm very nervous and I'm very worried that I might need it, and I don't feel like I'm scared, don't feel prepared enough. It's ironic how you can learn so much about neuroscience and then feel really, really nervous for an intro to neuroscience like test where I'm like, I don't know enough. It's like, test me on this, I got you. Everything else, I don't think I'm that much of an expert in yet. But yeah, so that's basically all we have today. And yeah, good night.